Hello viewers, welcome to Kids Auto and Truck Repair. Today we have a 2014 Dodge Journey. The customer complaint on this vehicle is the steering wheel shakes when he steps on the brake pedal. I confirmed the customer's complaint. I test drove the vehicle around the shop. When I stepped on the brake while I was driving, I could feel the steering wheel shake and the entire front end of the car was shaking. Now when I lifted the vehicle, I took a quick look and I could see that the front pads are worn out. So the front pads and the front rotors have to be replaced. So the shaking that the customer is experiencing when he steps on the brake is coming from the brake rotors. So the brake rotors are warped. We're gonna have to replace the rotors and the pads to fix this vehicle. Now we're gonna replace the pads and the brake rotor on both sides. I'm gonna show you how to do that on this side, and then I will replace the ones on the driver's side off camera. So once we replace the rotors and the pads, this vehicle will be fixed. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to remove and replace front brake pads and the brake rotor on this Dodge Journey. So now let's remove the tire so we can get access to the brake rotor. It looks like someone burnt this rim over here. This usually happens when someone loses their key for the wheel lock. Looks like they tried to hit this and then it burnt the rim, the plastic cover of the rim. Anyways, that's besides the point. We're here to get the rotors, to get the rotor and the pads removed. All right, so we got the tire removed. These pads are really worn out. They're really thin. All right. Now we're gonna undo the caliper bolts. We're gonna undo these two 13mm caliper bolts. After we undo these two bolts, the caliper is gonna come out. Okay. So let's get this caliper removed, and then we're gonna look at these pads. These pads are really thin. I'm gonna show you these pads. Now, these pads are worn out evenly, which is good. Let me remove the first pad. Look how thin this pad is. See that? It's really worn out. Now let's retract the caliper piston while we're here. So we're gonna retract our caliper pistons. Okay, that's good. We're gonna remove the second pad. We're gonna wear some glasses, and then we're gonna clean off our brake caliper. All right, that's good. The caliper is cleaned. We're gonna apply some of this anti-seize compound on the caliper jar, I guess that's how it's called. Okay, so we're applying a little bit of anti-seize compound on the caliper, and then we're gonna apply a little bit on the caliper pistons, so just a thin layer. This is gonna prevent the brakes from squeaking. Okay, we're gonna put some boom boom sauce right here. Okay, so this is how our caliper looks now. And then we're gonna use a bungee cord to hold the caliper up. I'm gonna put a bungee cord over here on this strut spring. Okay, to hold the caliper up. Okay, the caliper is held up out of the way. So now we're gonna remove, so our caliper bracket pins or caliper pins are not frozen, so that's good. So now we're gonna undo these two 21mm bolts so we can remove the caliper bracket. Okay, let's see. So here comes the first bolt. Now we're gonna remove the second bolt. All right, so here comes the caliper bracket. We're gonna take it to the bench. So the rotor is stuck here. So I'm going to screw one nut back on the studs over here. And then we're gonna tap the rotor just like that. Okay, now we can remove this nut. So we're gonna remove this nut, and then we're gonna remove our brake rotor. Okay, so as you can see, this hub flange or bearing flange is rusted out. So we're gonna clean this with our wire brush. We're gonna get it as clean as we can, because if this surface is not flat, it can cause the brake pedal to pulsate when you step on it. Okay. All right, we're gonna spray some brake clean over here. We're gonna clean this off just like that. We're gonna let it dry. This stuff dries pretty quickly. Now we're gonna apply some anti-seize compound on this surface over here. Okay, this is gonna prevent the brake rotor from getting stuck to this flange. You saw how we had to tap the old one out. So if this area is lubed, whoever is gonna do this next job will thank me, okay? So now we're gonna install our brand new brake rotor. So here is our brake rotor. We got some Duralast pads and rotors. This is a brake rotor. This is the part number over here. I hope you can see the number. Now, they're not sponsoring the video, so I'm just showing you what I'm using. I've been using these Duralast Gold rotors, and they've been pretty good. Okay. So we're gonna use our brake cleaner rather, to clean our brake rotor. So I'm gonna spray some on this, and then we're gonna grab our rotor and then wipe it down. We're gonna wipe down the other side, just like that. Okay, and then we're gonna install our brake rotor. We're gonna put this nut over here to keep the rotor straight. Okay, so we got our new rotor installed. That's good. So now let's go to the bench so that we can get our caliper bracket prepped. So we're gonna remove this hardware first. We're gonna get rid of these. So we're going to apply a little bit of anti-seize compound right here. Now I'm going to install our new pad hardware. These guys will go right here. Now, when you install this hardware, you have to make sure that they get lined up really well, especially the inner edge, because if you don't get them lined up very well, when you install the caliper bracket on the vehicle, on the steering knuckle, the hardware is going to touch the brake rotor, and that can cause some squeaking noise. Don't ask me how I know. So now we're going to install this one here. I learned by making mistakes. That's actually the best way of learning. You know, you make a mistake, you learn, you get your butt kicked, and then you move on. Okay. All right. So at this point, the caliper bracket is almost prepared. Now we're gonna check our pins. The caliper pins were not stuck. We're just gonna wipe them down, and then we're gonna apply some of this anti-seize compound, just a little bit, not too much. Okay. All right. Okay, so our caliper bracket is prepped and ready to be installed. So now let's take this to the vehicle so we can install it. All right, now we're gonna install our caliper bracket, and then we're gonna torque these bolts down. So the torque spec for the caliper bracket bolt is 74 foot-pound. I hope you heard the torque wrench click. So this is torqued. So let's torque the second one. All right, so this is torqued. Once again, we're torquing these to 74 foot-pound. This is torqued. All right, so that's good. So here comes the pad, just like that. Okay, so that's good. Our caliper pins are sliding in and out smoothly. we're good. We got the bolts for the caliper bracket torqued. So now our brake caliper can come down. Now we can install our brake caliper. Okay. Just like that. Easy peasy. Okay. And then we're gonna install our caliper bolts, which are 13mm bolts, and then we're gonna torque them down. The torque spec for the caliper bolt is 26 foot-pounds. I'm gonna get my bungee cord out of here. So now we're gonna torque the caliper bolt up to 26 foot-pounds. Right there. I hope you heard the torque wrench click. Oops. Right there. So the first one is torqued. We're gonna torque the second one. All right. So we got the caliper bolt torqued down to 26 foot-pounds. So we're good. All right, so we are almost done. Okay, I'm gonna remove the nut that I put over here, and then we're gonna install the tire. All right, so here comes the tire. So we are almost done. After this, I got a Toyota RAV4 that's outside. It needs AC. The AC doesn't get cold enough. So we're gonna figure that out. Hopefully it's just low on refrigerant. But if not, we will figure out anyways, and then we will fix it. All right, now let's lower the vehicle so we can torque down these lug nuts. The torque spec for the lug nuts is 100 foot-pounds. All right, so let's torque these lug nuts. Once again, the torque spec for these is 100 foot-pounds. I hope you can hear the torque wrench click. So that's torqued. It's good. All right, so we're gonna check all of them. All right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna leave this right over here. This is how you remove and replace front brake pads and the brake rotor on a 2014 Dodge Journey. I'm sure when I test drive the vehicle, the steering wheel is no longer gonna shake when I step on the brake pedal. So I hope you like the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumb down. But if you do, you gotta tell me why, so we can make better videos in the future. If this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. If you have any comments, questions, criticism, leave them in the comment box. Thanks for watching. See you next time.